Hello, my name is Samantha Maley, and welcome to my presentation on Minority Youth and Crime for Criminal Justice 306. Minority youth face multiple issues within the United States criminal justice system. To begin, they have high victimization rates. For example, although African American juveniles only make up 15% of the U.S. juvenile population, they have the highest property and violent victimization rates over any other racial groups. Additionally, Hispanics have higher victimization rates than non-Hispanics. So although these two groups compose a smaller portion of the actual population in the United States, they have higher victimization rates and are more often victims of crime than non-minority groups. Minority youth also have higher contact with the police. This leads to higher arrest rates for minority groups. African American juveniles make up 52.4% of all youth arrests, although they only make up 15% of the actual population. The high rate of arrests, the high rates of victimization lead to the overrepresentation of minority youth throughout the entirety of the criminal justice system. This is also seen in the courts and corrections. So, part of what leads to the overrepresentation of minorities throughout the entirety of the criminal justice system is the discrimination that is in place in the CRJ system. From Sampson, Mornoff, and Rodenbush from 2005, they stated, "Disparities in official crime may reflect biases in the way criminal justice institutions treat different racial and ethnic groups rather than differences in actual offending." So part of the reason that minority youths are overrepresented is because they face discrimination that non-minorities don't face. They face contextual and individual discrimination that leads to more convictions, more arrests, and more overall involvement in the criminal justice system based on their race. Minority youths often face these issues in the criminal justice system based on increased risk factors that non-minority groups often don't interact with. These risk factors include conduct problems such as behavioral and attitude problems in school, with authority, or with police officers or other correctional authoritative figures, low academic achievement in relation to conduct problems in schooling is another risk factor. Another one is family and neighborhood socioeconomic status and disadvantage. Minority youths are often faced with higher poverty levels and lower socioeconomic statuses, which is a risk factor in that lower statuses often lead to more violence and more criminality. So because these minority youths have more financial instability and a lower socioeconomic status, they're more at risk to participate in violence and crime and lead the life of criminality. Strained family relationships are also a risk factor, as these minority youths are witnessing violence in their home and are being abused, and this violence also puts them at risk to participate in more violence and more criminality. Peer delinquency is another risk factor in which their friends or peers are also being violent or participating in crime, so they also choose to do that, which is another risk factor leading to, again, more crime and more criminality. Throughout the United States, there are multiple organizations to help minority at-risk youth succeed. One such organization is the Arizona Center for Youth Resources, or ACYR. This organization is in Phoenix, Arizona, and works to help Phoenix's at-risk youth gain employment and be successful through their employment. Their mission statement is to serve Phoenix's opportunity youth the resources they need to become successful, educated, and employed adults. Their academic, vocational, and employment programs offer the local youth the opportunity to realize their potential, build their pathway, and guide them to success. ACYR uses educational programs such as high school and GED and other vocational programs in order to help Phoenix's at-risk youth gain education and then gain employment in order to be successful. So their main goal is employment through their education system. They serve Phoenix's at-risk youth, which are mostly youth of Hispanic or Latino descent, and they are a nonprofit organization, so their funding comes primarily from donations and other corporate sponsorships. All of their programs are free for the Phoenix youth, which is very helpful as the youth aren't expected to pay for their education and are able to think solely of their employment and their success. The Arizona Center for Youth Resources has had several positive outcomes within their community. For starters, teens and young adults are earning diplomas, GEDs, post-secondary education credentials, and are enrolling more in post-secondary education. These youths have more access to education and educational programs that are leading them to better employment opportunities that will improve their chances for success later in life. Employment opportunities for youth obtained through internships, direct hire, and ACYR programs are also a positive outcome, as ACYR is directly linking these youths to good employment opportunities through their program. Possible reforms for ACYR include improved community outreach. So although ACYR helps the community through individuals, if they work more with the community overall and help everyone with their employment statuses and their education, then they could improve the overall socioeconomic status of the community and raise the community as a whole together, improving everyone's lives and future generations through their program. So not only could they help individuals, but they could help their community overall. Thank you for your attention regarding the issues facing minority youths and the Arizona Center for Youth Resources that is helping Phoenix minority youth gain success through their employment. These are my resources, and thank you again.